Have you ever heard that once you go to a chiropractor, you have to go back for the rest of your life? Or maybe you're just somebody that's interested in chiropractic, your back hurts and you want to get checked out, but you're worried about how long it's going to take to feel better. If that sounds familiar, this video is going to be great for you. Hey, I'm Dr. Putney from Wellington Family Chiropractic. Today I just want to talk about how long or how many visits we typically see someone in our office. So to address whether or not you have to go back the rest of your life, that is something I hear on day one with patients, or I hear it on the phone when they're calling to schedule and they have questions. The answer is no, you do not have to go back the rest of your life. I don't know where that came from. I don't know why it's a thing that people say, but you 100% don't have to go back for the rest of your life. Unless you choose to continue to go back, that's up to you, but you don't have to. It doesn't create some issue with your spine that once you get adjusted once, it's never going to be right afterwards. That is not the case. So if you hear it, don't believe it. Let's talk about care plans in our office. So if somebody comes in with a condition, it's causing them pain, they have functional limitations, we measure all that on day one. We get a clear idea of what condition they have, what's causing it, and then we talk about how long we think it's going to take for those people to get better. Now, every condition varies in severity, and because of that, care plans are going to vary in terms of how long we recommend or how long we may be forecasting in the future what we think a duration of time it will be before they're back to 100%. But what we typically do on day one is we take it easy with patients. We say, here's what's going on, and let's start with a short window of time. So if somebody's in a lot of pain, I'm not going to tell them, it's going to take forever to get rid of this. I give them a good idea what's going on. I give them a clear guideline of this is typically based on evidence and then what I've noticed in our office, how long I think this will take for you to fully recover. And then we say, I always ask them, based on your goals, what do you feel comfortable with? But what we start with typically for the majority of our patients is a short window of time. Usually it's around 3 weeks. For a lot of people, if they're in a lot of pain, they'll come in twice a week for 3 weeks. Now, some people want to come in more often than that because the pain's so bad. Other people, they don't need as much hands-on work, so maybe they're just one time a week for a few visits. They need more exercise and stretches that they're doing on their own. Again, it varies, but for the average patient in a lot of pain when they come in, we do a two visits per week for 3 weeks. A short period of time where we try to improve their condition, either all the way back to where they're pain-free. There still maybe some functional things we're working on, but we should at least see some good improvement in that 3-week period. Now, our goal is to at least get somebody 30% better in 3 weeks. If we don't accomplish that goal, we're either doing something wrong or what we're doing treatment-wise is not the right thing for them. And we have to look at that 3-week mark and say, we are not getting you better. It's time to either try something different or we need to refer you out to somebody else because you're not going to get better with what we're doing. The majority of our patients are way past 30% better in 3 weeks. Our goal is to get somebody as close to 100% in 3 weeks as we can. That's not always the case. Sometimes they need further care. So at that point, that person may be able to drop down to just one time a week for a couple more weeks. Or it could be, if they're still in a lot of pain, they want to stay on twice a week for a few more weeks as we work those issues out. That's always going to be an open line of communication between the patient and myself, what they feel comfortable with, how they feel treatment's going, and then we base our recommendations off of that. So it's not a big, long care plan. We usually do a 3-week window. We try to get as much improvement in that window as we can, and then from there, determine whether or not they can be released at the 3-week window, or maybe they need a little bit more to continue on with active care to get back to 100%. Now, what happens whether it's 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 8 weeks, that person's 100% better? Well, they get released from active care. What do you do then? Well, you don't have to do anything. I have a lot of patients, we get them out of their predicament, they feel better, and we don't see them again. We see them whenever something pops back up. So it might be 3 months from now, something else, they pick up a bag of mulch and hurt their back, or maybe they sleep wrong and hurt their back or their neck. Or maybe it's 3 years and it's just come back and something's happened and we've got to work it out again. That happens for a lot of our patients. A vast majority of our patients like to get adjusted. They feel better when they get adjusted, when we work on their muscles, when we give them exercises. They like to check in to make sure everything is moving and functioning properly. For those people, we call it proactive care. They come in, usually it's set by the patient. They'll know when they're beginning to feel tight or things are acting up. I have some people that come in once a month just to get checked out, loosened up, adjusted, because they feel so much better throughout the day. Some people it's quarterly. Some people come more than once a month because they're willing to pay for it and they feel way better whenever they get the treatment. And that's okay. It's based on, at that point, what the patient feels they need to achieve their goals and feel better. For some patients, if you're training for a triathlon, just because you're not in a ton of pain, there's something to be said for improving performance and not having those aches and pains that build up from being very active. Even if you're not somebody that runs a triathlon, a lot of us sit at a desk all day for 8 hours and that stiffens you up. It feels good to get loosened up, and that's okay. So do you have to do that? You 100% do not have to do that. A lot of my patients love to do that because they feel so much better, but it's not forced upon them. Once you go to a chiropractor, you don't have to go back forever. How long should a care plan be? It should be based on evidence, the doctor's experience, and what the patient wants and what their goals are. And you should start with a small period of time, a short trial of care to make sure what you do in your office is actually helping. From there, you work towards getting that person 100% better. And then from there, the patient can decide whether they want to make chiropractic and what we do in our office or whatever office it is part of their just healthy lifestyle. So I hope this clears it up. Gives you some background on at least how we do it in our office. We're never pushy. We never tell somebody they got to come in forever, or you need 6 months of care at 3 times a week and then 2 times a week and then 1 time a week. We don't do any of that. It's just based off what's going on. We try to get you better as quick as possible, and then from there, keep you healthy and help you in any way we can. I hope this clears this up for some of you guys, and we'll talk to you soon.